a winter queen release. In a previous video, I had a couple colonies that were really small, and I had left them out overnight thinking it was going to be warm enough. Covered them with a blanket, but it wasn't. They lost some brood because some of the queens were laying, and they lost some of their colony workers. So what I did was I had a large colony outside, number 25. I took one of the mediums. I had two mediums. I took the top medium off, brought it in here, put a screen on the bottom top before I brought it in. And then I had the two colonies I wanted to add bees to on either side of it. And I carefully looked for queen 25 in that medium because I took the top of the cluster, and it was possible the queen could have been in that medium with those bees. But before I took those bees and I put them in the other two colonies, and they happened to be 3 and 47, I found the queen in those colonies inside this room here, and I put each one of those queens in a cage and put them back in their hive. So it is now January 1st, 2020. It's like 30 degrees, 29 or something like that out there. It's cold out. This is the south side right here. Bees always go towards the sun. Sometimes they'll go, this right here is the west. Sometimes they'll go here too. And what I did was I got a bottom screen here. It's got an entrance. They can't get out. This is the top medium. There's still some bees in here. And I quickly put a screen over the top of them. See? There's some bees in there. And then I quickly put a screen over the top of the bottom deep. And then I reached in there with my hand and grabbed the queen in the cage. I just wanted to check how she's doing. She's doing well. There were hardly any workers on this cage. So more than likely the queen is not in this colony, the queen from 25. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to check anyway. I'm going to remove that sugar, and I'm going to take out, I use a screwdriver and a hive tool to pry out a frame. I'm going to take out one of the frames on the side and set it over here on the side, and I'm going to go through each frame, and I'm going to check for a queen, because I do not want to release this queen. This is the third day this queen's been in the cage. I do not want to release this queen without knowing if there's another queen in this colony. After I've checked all of those frames, and I put that other frame that I took out back in, I will put the sugar back on there, and I will set this queen down on there like most beekeepers do, and I'll go ahead and open this up. And if she didn't come out within a few minutes, I'll go ahead and I'll pop this staple out, and I'll go ahead and I'll let her out, and I'll make sure she goes down in between the frames. And once she's done that, I'm going to go ahead, put a queen, I'm going to take off this screen, I'm going to put a queen excluder over it, and I will not put these bees outside until I've actually taken this out. I will not put them outside in the winter and have a queen excluder in there, just so if the bees went up into that medium where that honey was and left the queen down below. I'm expecting, it is cold now. I'm expecting it's going to be cold for the next 2.5 months or so. And I don't see my bees ever flying again for over 10 weeks. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. You never know what the weather's going to do. So anyway, I put this queen excluder on. This screen is off. I put this on. I take an extra medium, set that on there, take this off, and I have some foundation with nothing on it, and I will, when I get to the ones with the bees on it, I will set these aside, and then take these and set these in the medium we just set on that hive, looking for that queen. And after I've checked all of those, then I'll put in these, and I will put it back together like that hive is there. And you see I have an entrance feeder on my platform here that I made. I will gather up all the bees, get them in jars, and when I get enough in one jar, I go and I start filling another jar, and I set this jar on top of that jar. Take these plastic index card things out, tap it, and all the bees go down and cover that one up, and then I go back and I get more. Most of the time, majority of the bees will stay on the frames, but you do get a few stragglers, and they always go towards the windows, most all of them, and you only have a few left over. It's not really a big deal to do this inside. So I just love playing with bees. I could not have bees outside and not do hive inspections during the winter. It would just drive me nuts. So even though I don't take my bees down south, I'm doing exactly the same thing the beekeepers down south are doing. I'm just doing it inside. Okay? Thank you.